A firm has two plants. The cost function in plant 1 is given by Q1 squared, and the cost function in plant 2 is given by 68 plus Q2 squared. The question asks, to minimize the cost of producing 20 units in total, how much is produced in plant 2? But now we're going to assume that the fixed cost in plant 2 is 0 if nothing is produced in that plant. So in other words, the fixed costs in plant 2 are not sunk. Let's assume that that fixed cost is the cost to building the factory. So plant 1 is already built and standing. Plant 2, we haven't built it yet. If we did build it, it would cost us $68. So first, let's solve for the optimal level of production in both plants if we were to bring both plants into production. And the way we do that is by setting the marginal cost of plant 1 equal to the marginal cost of plant 2. We see the marginal cost of plant 1 is 2Q1 and the marginal cost of plant 2 is 2Q2. So they're identical marginal cost. So Q1 is going to equal Q2. That means we're going to split production evenly among both plants if we do build plant 2. Well, first, since the fixed cost in plant 2 is not sunk, we need to compare the scenario where we only produce in plant 1 to the scenario where we split production among both plants. So if we produced all 20 units in plant 1, that would cost us $400 because we'll just plug in 20 to our cost function for plant 1. If we were to use both plants, then we would need to use these two systems of equations to solve for how much we would produce in each plant. The first equation is our 20, how many we want to produce, is equal to how many we produce in plant 1 plus how many we produce in plant 2. The other equation, well, this is the optimization condition that said we're going to set the marginal cost in plant 1 equal to the marginal cost in plant 2 to see the relationship of Q1 and Q2, which in this case we found were equal. Q1 was equal to Q2. So we use these two equations to solve for how many we produce in each. We can plug in for one of the variables, so I chose to plug Q1 into the function because Q2 is just equal to Q1. And I see that 20 was equal to 2Q1, or Q1 is equal to 10. So it's not too hard to see that Q2 is also equal to 10. And like we said earlier, we were just going to split this production evenly. So 20 split evenly is 10 in each plant. So total cost using both plants would be, well, we'd plug in 10 to our total cost function in plant 1 to get 100. And we'd plug in 10 to our total cost function in plant 2 to get 168. We add these two total costs together, and we see that if we use both plants, it's going to cost us $268. Which is less than the $400 if we just use plant 1. So we are going to use both plants, and since this question was asking how much do we produce in plant 2, we know we're going to produce 10 units in plant 2.